Hey, welcome in. It's a brand new edition of the RSL Show. I'm Alex Napoles. That's Josh Clark. And we're here to bring you the latest and the greatest with what's happening with Real Salt Lake. And I think the greatest, Josh, right now, since we've last recorded, we do have one official signing that is over the line. He is in market. He's training with the guys. Pen to paper. It is official. The DP forward in Morgan Guilavogui, now officially a member of Real Salt Lake. Josh, your thoughts, man, on Real Salt Lake's new DP?
Listen, I'm glad he's here getting some minutes and getting some training in the preseason, right? I'm glad it's not going to be an absolute lost cause. I'm just excited to see what he can bring. Like we talked about last time, remaining cautiously optimistic, right? It's not like we have the best track record as of late. But high hopes. High hopes. That's all I'm going to say.
I think, and I think you can agree with me on this, Josh, but I think that the front office and Real Salt Lake need to hit on Morgan. It is so important for Kurt's sake, for RSL's sake, for everybody's sake, that now that you bring in a new DP, now that there's a new guy coming in, he has to hit.
With the other side of Diogo now being here, with that being the spectacular flop that it was,
yes,
you are absolutely correct. This one has to show up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna say Kurt out, right?
Yeah. Now here we are, February 4th, right? We're weeks away from the season to start. So let's put it down. Let's get it out there right now. Realistically, and even before we really see Real Salt Lake play any type of real competitive match, right, in regular season, realistically, what is Guilavogui's bar? Where do we measure the success for him?
I mean, this is the hard part. Our DPs have historically been so bad that are we okay with just 10 goals?
You know what? Honestly, yes.
But for $5 million, right?
Yeah.
Are we setting the bar too low because historically the DPs have been terrible, or are we going to hold him to the fire and expect Chicho numbers out of him?
I don't know if we can. I don't know if you could or should anticipate Chicho numbers out of this guy yet. Obviously that conversation can change, right? A couple weeks into the season, if he's coming in, he's performing, and he's showing that he has that capability. But I think right now, for me, just where I'm setting the bar and from what I've been able to see from Morgan, I think realistically, 10 should be a good shooting point.
10 goals, 5 assists?
Yeah, 15 goal involved.
But 15 goal contributions in total.
No, but the way that Real Salt Lake is setting up this season, he should be contributing more to assist-wise.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm concerned that we've just been so mediocre in the DP aspect for so long.
Yeah.
It should make Kurt's job easier, the front office's job easier. Like our expectations are low. You know what I mean? Like it's not that hard to appease us at this point. So that's kind of depressing.
But I mean, it's a conversation we've had in the past, man, where the transfers and the windows that we've seen under Kurt Schmidt haven't been so successful. They haven't been great.
Nope.
And if it's another, disappointing, or if it's another below par DP signing, it ultimately falls on the scouting department, and it's going to fall on Kurt's shoulders. And if you go with another window where you're in charge and you're overseeing the team and you're overseeing the plan. And I know obviously now you have Jason Kreis's influence and he's the director of soccer operations, but ultimately you have the tag of the GM, you have the tag of the chief soccer operator, or whatever we're calling him these days. It's your team, you've built this roster, and if you have another dud of a DP signing, it's on you.
Right. And then if I'm the owner, I'm going, my God, why are we just spending money to spend money at this point?
Yeah.
100%.
Really hope the best out of Morgan. And I think Real Salt Lake really hope the best out of Morgan. And so we'll see how Morgan adapts to MLS. We'll see how Morgan plays with Real Salt Lake, but ultimately, I think right now from where we stand, I am ultimately excited to see some fresh faces, some fresh legs, and see what he's able to do for RSL, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Other big news, we talked about it a little bit on our last show with Pablo Ruiz potentially moving on from Real Salt Lake. And while the move was ultimately very, very close, the rumors now coming out of Chile and the rumors coming out of South America, it is that Colo-Colo have pulled out of interest from acquiring Pablo Ruiz on a year-long loan. The rumor is, and the talk is, that something happened in the negotiations that ultimately frustrated Pablo Ruiz, and so Pablo Ruiz was frustrated with the situation. It ultimately led to Colo-Colo and the board there deciding to move on to a different target. And of course, that is all just the rumors that are circulating right now online. But it seems like Pablo Ruiz will stay in an RSL kit for the moment being.
I think we touched on this a little bit last time, but that kind of makes me happy in a weird way, especially if we're not getting maybe a central midfield reinforcement until summer.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise, honestly.
I could not agree more.
Yep.
I know it's going to suck for RSL to, I guess, in a sense, be eating that cap space, because ultimately Pablo Ruiz is on a bigger contract, right? No one would have, when he re-signed, I don't think anybody would have guessed what happened, right? No one would have guessed the injuries. No one would have guessed everything that's happened to Pablo Ruiz since then. So I'm not necessarily, him being a TAM player, I'm not necessarily putting that on anybody in the front office, because no one could have predicted that.
100%. And a move could materialize again this summer. It's not like we're stuck with him and we have to buy him out, right? Like, and he's not a bad player either.
No.
So it's really, while it does suck for the cap space and whatnot, it's fine.
Yeah.
Again, a blessing in my opinion.
That's where I'm at with it. Yes, it's going to suck against your cap space and your in the roster designation of him being a TAM player or whatever. I think that part of it sucks. However, you look at the midfield depth. We talked about it last week or last time out, Josh. It is a little bit thin in that midfield room. And the reality is, man, he's not a contract after the end of the season. He does have player options for 2027 and 2028, but you don't have to pick those up. Right.
And I don't think he wants to either.
I would have a hard time seeing him wanting to stay. I mean, obviously, right, if he's able to make it back into the 11 and he stays fit for the entire season, maybe that conversation changes. But even if it doesn't, you have midfield depth with Pablo Ruiz. Yes, he's on a bigger bill, but if for some reason, right, Pablo Ruiz is unavailable or somebody else in the midfield goes down, you obviously keep Pablo Ruiz in that mix. He's in that depth room, and that opens the door for, in a case of an injury, that opens up the door for a Griffin Dillon to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of bringing in somebody from outside, instead of bringing in a transfer, you already have a starting level midfielder on the roster. Hold on to that starting level midfielder. Don't let him leave. You wait out his contract till the end of the season, but right, let's say Emeka Nelly isn't 100% ready to go by the time the season rolls. He's been out all off season with an injury. That opens up the door for Griffin Dillon, and you don't have to bring in somebody from outside. You don't have to make a transfer for somebody outside to take those minutes from Griffin Dillon when you can keep Pablo Ruiz there.
100% agree. 100% agree. It's a brief positive.
Yeah. Still plenty of time in the window. Still plenty of time for RSL or Pablo Ruiz to potentially make a move out if that's the route that Pablo Ruiz wants to continue to go on. But I think ultimately, right now with Pablo Ruiz staying, it helps out Ralph's like a lot.
Yep, agreed.
Anything else, man?
No, we're still, waiting on the other names, the other two, to fully materialize for them to arrive and don the jersey or training top. One apparently is in market. I imagine both are in market if they're coming. That's just a matter of paperwork and whatnot. But yeah, it's It wasn't that long ago we recorded, Alex, so there hasn't been a lot of time for news to materialize, but some did, which is kind of nice. But I would expect come tomorrow morning as this episode releases, most likely there will be some news dropping.
Probably.
That's how it goes.
Either Arias or Sanabria will be announced tomorrow morning.
Or Cristiano Ronaldo, who knows?
Something will happen because that's just our luck. I am very, very excited, man, for Sanabria. I know we talked about it last time. We had the breaking news last time we were on here. But Sanabria, man, I keep watching videos. I keep watching the film. I keep watching him play with San Luis. And I will continue to tout this horn, man. I'm very, very big on Sanabria.
I'm just so stoked that it's not going to be a DP. I think that's absolutely incredible for us.
I know, man. I'm excited to see what he's able to bring. I'm excited to see what he's able to do this season with RSL. And again, it's a World Cup year, and he's going to be wanting to play at his peak. I'm sure Uruguay's going to want him at his peak. So I'm very just ultimately so excited. And I'll give, hats off to Kurt, hats off to the front office for going back and making the negotiations work and making everything work out with the Will he won't he situation, because I think it is a massive win for RSL to pick up Sanabria.
Yeah, but again, right?
Still waiting.
We still have to see it official, and we still have to see if it's going to work out.
That's
He could
true.
also be a flop. Who knows? He could get here and just absolutely hate it and not want to play. I mean, you're right. It's a World Cup year. So I think we're going to see the best out of him for 3-4 months. But after that, if he's not motivated, who knows?
Yeah.
It's just me being a pessimist, man. So.
Plus, I can't remember who it was exactly, whether it was Arias, the center back, or whether it was Sanabria from San Luis. The big selling point and the big conversation, I saw this floating out online, the big selling point was a bridge to Europe.
Yeah.
So the reality is, how long will those young guys want to stay? I think it was Sanabria. How long will they want to stay with RSL after the World Cup, right, if Europe's on the table for them?
Right, but we also have to get comfortable with the realization and possibility that a lot of these guys we're going to get for the rest of our existence are going to be somewhat of rentals, right? And that's a good thing because we're not going after players at the end of their careers anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine that we're going after players that have that aspiration to go to Europe, but we have to look at it as these guys are never going to be lifers with RSL. And best case scenario, they're here a season and a half, 2 seasons, right? They come in and have that big of an impact that Europe calls immediately. That's best case scenario. And that we can continue to find those guys. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But this is, I feel like, the exact same conversation we had around Gomez. Right. And the big question is, can we continue to do it? And so far, the answer is no.
So far, the answer is no, and that's a knock on RSL. Honestly, when you go out to try to get a guy like Sanabria, when you try to get a guy like Arias, right where that bridge and that potential of going to Europe is on the table, and they see Andres Gomez and the success story that was, but what else have you done since then?
Right.
Dominic was supposed to be a potential guy for something to I mean, he was already in Europe, but it was a potential for him to come in, advance his career, and then head back to Europe. But so far, we haven't seen that with Dom.
And Diego Luna is another example, which you can argue there's been a lot of success there, but he hasn't moved on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's head over to Instagram. We put out an Instagram question out there for everybody to hit us up on Instagram with any reactions, any questions, and anything that you wanted to know RSL wise from this offseason or your impressions from the offseason so far. And we got a couple of submissions in. We have Jonathan Pena, who submitted in, "This offseason has me surprised. I am happy that we have tried to get good reinforcement and let go of people that didn't want to be here. Who do you think of the new signings will give us the most during the season?" Josh.
Sanabria, for sure.
I would agree.
Tell me how to say that again.
Sanabria. There you go.
It's going to take me a minute. Okay. Yes, him. Of course. That's the easy answer, right? A lot of hype there. I'm honestly very excited for Arias. I love a center back. I love a good center back. I'm gonna be elated over the moon, right? If this guy's better than Brian Vera, 100%.
Absolutely.
To just kind of piggyback on the first bit of his comment though in question, I'm so happy we cleared out the dead weight. There was a lot of dead weight, and I think that was probably the most important thing we did this offseason.
I was just about to say that.
I'm sorry, I took your talking point.
No, literally just about to say that. Diogo,
Willie Agata, Johnny Russell. I would have been fine if Johnny Russell came back because it's fun to have an SKC guy, but I won't say that about Willie Agata. But there was just a lot of, the season prior getting rid of Hidalgo,
guys who possibly didn't want to be here after the end of their contract at the end of the season.
As much as I love Vera and Ojeda, if they don't want to be here, man, you got to go. We're not going to let you go for free. So I think that's the most important thing we did this offseason.
Absolutely. The easy answer for me too is Sanabria. I think Arias will be a starter by the end of the season.
I think it's going to be quicker than that.
For sure.
With what's back there?
Yeah, I think for sure by the end of the season. I hope to be relatively surprised by Booth.
You see that? Didn't even think about him.
Yeah.
I hope so too. But again, that's one of those that it's so unknown, how his skills are going to translate to MLS. I think he'll do well. It's just like how well, right? Is it going to be Gozo level? Is it going to be Gomez level?
Is it going to be Tyler Wolff level?
Let's hope not.
Yeah. I hope that's probably worst case scenario, but I think there will be opportunities for him to get on the field.
I think there'll be plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, there'll be chances for him to get on the field and showcase himself, and I hope that we're relatively surprised by Booth. When the signing came in, I was quite disappointed, right? That we're just going after young projects per se.
Right, younger brothers of other projects.
Brothers of other projects, former RSL projects, right? But
because if this was Zach Booth, this is a different conversation. This is older brother.
100%.
Yeah. And then we got Cowell too, didn't we?
Yeah, and then you got
the younger Cowell. So it's just like, wow, we got three younger brothers of national team prospects. This is strange.
But also too, when it comes to Chance, I don't think will be much of an impact for RSL.
I see him with the Monarchs mostly.
Yeah, it's a Monarch signing, and I think he's going to spend a lot of time in MLS Next Pro, which is whatever.
Yeah.
But I hope to be impressed by Zach Booth. If we're just going off who's going to give us the most this season, it'll be Sanabria. But my dark horse pick for guys who can potentially come in and surprise everybody, it's going to be Booth.
Okay, I like it.
Walter says, oh, this is a long one, Walter.
Yes, Walter, I'm glad Diogo's gone.
With the still at this time possibility of Sanabria, are we thinking that Catranis is unhappy with RSL? And has he been looking to move on for now 2 transfer windows?
I don't know officially, but based on body language and whatnot, I don't think he's been happy here for a good season at least.
But I'll give credit to the front office because whatever conversations were had with him this offseason, I think it made a 3 or a 180.
Yeah, you also probably have your agent going, "Hey man, no one's calling."
That could also probably be part of it too.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure it's a multifaceted issue.
Yeah,
because he clearly wasn't happy when Sam Junqua came in.
No.
So, but I hope he is happy, and I hope he sticks around because I've forgiven my beef with Alex Catranis, so I really like the player, and I hope he sticks around. And he scored a sick goal in preseason.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
I'm hoping for big things for Alex this season, even though he's going to be technically, when you look at the depth chart, he is technically going to be number 2 on there, but I think ultimately you're going to have a 1 and 2 or a 1 and 1B situation, because they're going to be asking a lot of that left wing back position, as they did last season.
Yeah,
and
we're
it's a
going to
big
see
reason.
every game.
It's a big reason as to why Sam Junka and Katranis rotated so much, is because they ask a lot of those wingbacks. And so I do imagine it'll ultimately be a 1A, 1B type situation, but he is technically on the depth chart would be second fiddle to Lucas, or excuse me, to Juan Manuel Sanabria.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be getting minutes, so there's not going to be a lack of minutes for him.
Part 2 to Walter's question, with Arias coming in and the fact that we have Henry and Engel, does this mean that we'll see Glad's role slowly get scaled back to a rotation player by the end of the year?
That's going to depend on Justin Glad.
I'm going to say no.
I don't see it either. Glad's going to have to fall off so hard. And I know we have this conversation yearly, right, where he either starts off hot and then slumps, or starts in a slump and gets hot. I don't think Justin Glad's still a good center back, right? He's going to have to fall off so hard. Engel's relatively unknown. Kobe Henry, still relatively unknown. We know what we get out of Junqua and Quinton. I don't think anyone right now, like that RSL currently has, is better at Justin Glad at center back. And this has been my issue for a long time. We have to start bringing in center backs that are better than Justin Glad in order to start moving in that direction.
Yeah. To Walter's point, I think Arias can potentially be that guy.
Right, but we're playing 3 in the back, right? So that's why, I mean, Justin Glad would have to really fall off for those other guys to take his spot.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 in the back, maybe we see it, but I don't know.
I think unless, you potentially see Henry take a massive leap in his development and potentially comes in and starts taking some of those minutes, then that could also be a different conversation.
Real quick, Nick Schmaltz is ridiculous.
He's on fire, dude. I just got the notification.
He just scored another. My lord. They need to reshine Nick Schmaltz. Sorry, this is not a Mammoth podcast, I know, but big hockey guy over here. So,
ultimately, just I think Justin Glad. We haven't seen All-Star Justin Glad. It's a conversation we have every single recording. We haven't seen All-Star Justin Glad since halfway through 2024. You need that Justin Glad back. I'm hoping that Rousley can find some semblance of that for him this season, right? And we can have a different conversation about Justin Glad. But ultimately, he is an average starting MLS center back right now.
Yep.
And that's unfortunately the best, if not one of the best defenders you have. This one's for Josh from Walter again. Were you happier to have Diogo gone or Andrew Brody?
Oh, buddy.
I think Diogo's the easy answer.
Oh, dude, I did not like Andrew Brody, though. That's not as easy of an answer as you think.
I think just talking from the DP standpoint, it should be.
It's definitely Diogo. You're just really pushing some buttons there of players that I genuinely don't like. Is Andrew Brody still with SKC?
No, I think he didn't get renewed.
I'd be shocked if he did. I wonder. I'm going to look up where he's at.
He might get picked up again, because the funny thing about SKC is they don't have anybody on their roster right now.
I love that for them.
They're in some trouble, man.
30 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
I wouldn't be surprised if they picked him up again. Because SKC is 1,000% winning the wooden spoon.
I hope so.
Then you go look at the roster. What do they have? You have Dejan Jovelik, and then what else?
Let me look. Dude, Transfer Market has him listed as $1 million player.
Brody? No.
As a transfer value of $1 million.
What? Genuinely?
Oh, yeah, they have a very, very small roster right now.
Yeah.
Oof.
SKC is, they'll probably end up playing a lot of academy kids. One of them will end up breaking out and he'll be fine. but nothing else on that roster besides Joveljic really excites me.
No, there's
it's
nothing
bad.
there. Yeah,
It's bad.
I love that for them.
They're trying to figure out what the heck they're going to look like post Peter Vermes, and so far they're not off to a great start. If you were forced,
his Brody's peak value is 1.5 million, so he hasn't fallen off too much, but that's crazy to me. He started out at 200K.
Wild. And did RSL waive him or trade him? I can't remember.
Oh, I think it was a trade, but
might have been.
I feel like that's been so long I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
So apologies if I'm wrong.
If you were forced to bring one back, which one would it be?
Diogo or Brody?
Yeah.
Brody just based on, cheapness.
Oh, sorry. Walter said money aside.
Oh.
Money aside, which one would it be?
Diogo, just to leave him out of the 18 every week. Right? Let him sit there on like 20K a year.
Walter says apparently some soccer betting website has Real Lake at 39.5 points. You taking the over? You taking the under?
39.5 points.
39.5.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
What did we finish with last year?
That's a great question.
40 something?
It was around there, for sure.
39.5.
39.5. You taking the over? You taking the under?
Listen, we were bad last year.
Yeah, 41 last year.
Okay, so it's going to be worse than last year. I mean, a lot of the new guys are relatively unknown, but we have the World Cup. I'm taking the over.
I think I'm taking the over too.
If it's the under, Pablo's gone.
It has to be. Pablo and a couple others.
Yeah, like almost everybody.
I think 39.5 is low. And I'm right now, maybe this is just the optimist in me, but right now I'm having a really hard time seeing this team be worse than last year.
I think it's just optimism.
Yeah. Which
I don't have a lot of, I know. But last year was bad. And we got rid of a lot of the bad. So I'm hoping the players that replace the bad come in and make it a little better.
Last year, it was more than just the on-field performances. Like, there was a bad vibe.
Yeah.
There's a bad vibe. And this year, I'm not feeling the vibe so far. The bad vibe, I should say, so far. So we'll see. And then lastly, thoughts on Morgan from Walter, which we already kind of talked about.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough, right? I've just seen the highlights.
Yeah.
I haven't seen his movement off the ball. I haven't seen his hold-up play, if he has any. It's funny, though, Alex. I collect cards, right? Like trading cards. And I actually have one of his St. Pauli autograph cards. I didn't even realize it.
No way.
Yeah, so that's kind of funny.
There you go.
Yeah. So based on that alone, he's going to the moon. He's going to be incredible. The value is going to skyrocket. We're going to finish with 60 points.
Oh, I'd take 60. Absolutely.
I'll take 60 all day long.
I'll take 60 any day of the week. That's easily, easily fighting for a home playoff spot, man.
Yeah.
If you get 60 last season, you are 3 points off of the Western Conference leaders in San Diego, who ended up with 63. And in fighting for third place with LAFC, who got 60.
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that if that ever happened. It's not going to, but
give me 60 all day, every day. Everything.Real Salt Lake says, what would your starting 11 be?
Oh, I can't tell you that yet. We got to wait till some signatures are on paper and the ink is dried.
Yeah. If there's some official announcements coming through over the course of the next couple of days, I think it makes it a lot easier. Because I think a lot of those guys, again, from the get-go are starters.
Yeah.
You have, just looking at it right now, right? If those players are, once those players are done and over the line, Cabral on goal, easy. You have the 3 center backs, which will be Lucas Engel, Justin Glad, and then the other one is kind of where I have questions.
It's the wild card. Is it Philip Quinton? Is it Kobe Henry? Yeah, I don't know that Arias. I tried.
No, you got it right. You got it right.
I don't know that he'll be. It feels weird. I feel like I'm trying too hard. I don't like it. I don't know that he'll be day one starter.
Yeah.
Right. That's going to be someone gets a red card, someone gets an injury, he comes in, kills it, and then suddenly he's like cemented in. Right.
I alluded to this a little bit. I think we both alluded to this actually last time we recorded. I think Yedlin starts the season at that center back position.
Then Dominic will take it.
No. I'm saying at this.
Oh, it's center back. Sorry,
center back. Yeah. And then Arias will take it.
Okay.
And then Yedlin and Dominic ultimately fight off and become that 1A, 1B like we were talking about with the left side, where both of those guys will be rotating into that position. So with the right, you have Dominic and Yedlin. With the left, you have Sanabria and Catranis. And then in the midfield, I think it's Spearings and Anelli.
Yep.
And then
on the left.
And then up top, I hate to do this. I hate it. But you'll have a similar situation where you have a 1A, 1B with Gozo and Morgan.
You think Morgan's going to play on the right?
He'll play across, whatever. Okay. Right?
I think you're not going to bench Olatunji for Morgan quite yet.
You're not going to bench Luna for Morgan.
No. I think that front three, Gozo, Morgan, Victor, Diego, so the 4 of them, I think that's really just going to be a solid rotation, honestly.
I think it'll be very fluid with who's in and who's out.
Yep. It's Morgan will just kind of be placed in wherever needs to be rotated or start, right? Wherever that person is that's getting benched is, which is nice to have. It's nice to have a Swiss Army knife.
And I think ultimately that's what Roslik wants I think that's why they went and got him specifically. Yeah. I think that's why they went and got him specifically was because he can come in and be a Swiss Army knife of sorts and play across those front 3 spots anywhere you need him, and could probably find some success there. So
yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at with the starting 11. Josh, do you disagree with anything?
No, I don't. Oddly enough, again, until ink's dry, it's hard to say. I mean, we could see these guys come in, play their first minutes, and be like, "Nope, this is bad. Get them out of here." I doubt it. I mean, this isn't 2013 to 2016 where you're just kind of picking guys up off of whoever was good on FIFA and free, right? Like,
I'll never forget.
Different now. It's a little different, but
I'll never forget the Giuseppe Rossi experiment, man.
Dude, I forget about that all the time. Holy cow.
I'll never forget it.
Bobby Wood.
I feel like with Rossi, man, though, it was different because this was a guy who wasn't even like on a team. Like Bobby Wood was still technically like on a team, recently released before he came to Rossi. Like Giuseppe Rossi was like about a year or more removed from playing competitive soccer when Rossi got him.
A guy that notoriously could not stay fit.
And then you bring him in after not playing for a year to try to solve your goal scoring problems. Like that was bad.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked on that though. Because we were so starved.
I was stoked on the name.
Exactly. We were starved. We had never had any recognizable name come in, right?
I was stoked on the name, but man, that was a failure. So bad.
Did he even play 90 minutes total?
I don't know if he did. I know he made 7 appearances.
Yeah, for 3 minutes a pop.
But I don't know. I don't know if he ever played a full 90.
What year was that?
21.
It was that recent?
Maybe no. I'm crazy.
2019, maybe 2018, 2019.
It was the glitch kit, so it had to be 2020.
Oof.
That's you know what? You know what? It was MLS's back season. Now that I'm remembering, it was that year.
That's crazy, dude. Because like that feels like an absolute eternity ago.
Yeah.
But that was like the 2-3 year span where it was like Rossi, Rubin, Wood, like just any U.S. men's national team like castaway was getting signed by RSL. It's crazy.
Who's the biggest national team name aside from Beckerman and Raimondo to play for Real Salt Lake? Is it Yedlin?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you talking like U.S. national team?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Yedlin. Outside of Becker, but Yedlin's probably a bigger national team name than Nick Raimondo and Kyle Beckerman. Way more appearances for the national team.
For sure. I'd have to do the research on that, but I think it is. I think it's DeAndre.
It has to be. Who else would have more than him? It's not Nab Orchers. It's not Justin Glad.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's not Tony Beltran with his like one appearance. It's not Chris Wingert. It's not. I mean, it's not Bobby Wood. You know what I mean?
Definitely not.
Got to be DeAndre, yeah.
The last question here from Instagram, Alex Colton. I guess more of a statement, but I 1,000% agree with it wholeheartedly. Owners and front office show that they care. That's what we asked for. Hopefully everything aligns. And I think that's the sentiment that a lot of Real Salt Lake fans are feeling right now, Josh.
Yeah.
They're willing to spend the money. They're willing to cut ties with, fork over the whatever buyout fee it was to buy out Diogo. They're willing to fork over money to make this roster competitive. It's a great sign from the Millers after what happened last season, right? After the inability to bring in a striker, after the missing out on some targets because of the sale of the club and not being able to really hit the ground going at the beginning of the 2025 season. It is nice to see that the Millers and the ownership and the front office are recognizing and identifying areas of need and making this roster look a lot better than it did to start last season.
I mean, I'm sure they're looking at their, fan survey that talked about the rebrand, but there was a lot on there about like what would interest you, right? And I imagine a vast majority of people said results, big name players, investing in the team, right? I am thankful that the Millers haven't seemed to shy away from investing in the team. That's definitely hasn't been an issue for them. We'll excuse the post Chicho era because we didn't know the team was up for sale, right?
Yeah.
Full stop. So obviously the Millers aren't going to spend money, or Ryan Smith's not going to spend money until that sells final. Right? Why would you? Did it suck? Absolutely. Did it screw us over? For sure. But since they've been willing to spend, and I don't think anyone is going to knock them for that. The big question is, can their staff, their front office staff, find the right guys now? And that's the new big question.
Yep.
I still don't think the Millers are ever going to go buy, a $30 million player like that. That's not our DNA. But if we just start buying $5 to $10 million players left and right, like we're going to be just fine.
Well, I mean, if you throw in $3 million to Sanabria, you throw in $5 to Morgan, they're both successes, they're both hits. Like right. That's absolutely what you want.
I mean,
if you're RSL.
We do have a good track record of like signing guys fairly on the cheap, right? That do work out and play really well. Brian Ojeda, for example, Alex Catranis, Rafa Cabral, like it's doable, but that can't be the only way you're building a roster, right? You got to have the kids. You got to have some players you're spending on. It definitely has to be a balance.
I would not surprise me, and it would not shock me if ultimately we're having a conversation about Stein Spearings, a similar conversation to what we had with Demir when he signed back in 2018.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think that one is like that one might be the dark horse, man.
Yeah, and we didn't mention him too on the earlier question, but yeah. I think that's a guy who can deliver now and immediately, and he brings a lot on the defensive side of the ball, which we talked about it, Josh, the enforcer in the midfield. Mm-hmm. He can be that guy.
That position as well, like if you're good at it, right? he doesn't have to put up goals and assists to be an absolute success.
Yeah.
He just has to put out gutsy, tough performances, and he's going to be fine.
Obviously, we're still a long way, right, from what potentially could be Steinspiering's career with Real Salt Lake. But I remember in 2018 when Damir Kreilach made the move over from Union Berlin, there was a lot of people who were uneasy. There was a lot of people who weren't confident in the signing. There was a lot of people who criticized Damir when he was playing alongside Kyle Beckerman, and alongside him in the midfield. And then by the end of the season, everybody loved Damir.
Right. Let's just hope Spearings doesn't end up as our 9.
Yeah, that's
that's
that's a different conversation.
Yep.
That's a different conversation. But I just mean relatively, like, in the fact that, he's signing. Not a lot of people really know about this guy. Not a really people. I've seen mixed reviews, right? Mixed reactions to Steinspiering signing for Real Salt Lake. But I mean, ultimately, he's on a free. And so you would hope that he just comes in and has a similar work rate and a similar effort and similar vibes to that 2018 Damir signing. And then by the end of the season, everybody's going to love him.
Yeah, it's a low risk, high reward kind of
Exactly.
situation. Yeah,
Exactly. Chicho Arango heading over to Colombia.
dude.
I have so many thoughts about this move.
I'll
let you go first, though.
You think he's back in MLS in 6 months?
It is a loan.
It's crazy, Alex. It is crazy.
It is a loan. So I mean, the possibility of him coming back, like, it's not completely off the table.
No, but like that's his MO right now. Just
Yeah.
move every 6 months. Run away from your problems.
Yep.
Right? Like,
Yep. I mean, obviously, like, we haven't heard anything. I would say that we haven't heard anything from the San Jose side.
No, but clearly something happened because he's moving for personal reasons again.
Yes, it is. It's the fact that Tom Bogert mentions the personal reason. It's the fact that he signed a new contract a week before that report came out.
Right. So what did you do this time, bud?
What happened?
Who else did you harass?
What
Who else
happened?
did you victimize, right? Like, it's really crappy to think that, like, the guy that we were ready to elevate to our Mount Rushmore, right? Didn't last year. Short-lived experiments. And just seems to be an absolute POS.
Yeah.
It's almost like you want to just erase him out of the RSL history books because it was such a wild ride. There was so much hype. I mean, he got a freaking bobblehead, for God's sake, right? Like,
Yep.
we don't do bobbleheads for anybody. I remember going to away games or even home games and just the sheer amount of people waiting to get his autograph, and he just ends up being a turd. And that just really bums me out, man. So I find it comical that he's moving yet again. It's crazy.
First of all, San Jose, you had Christian
They're a
Espinoza.
dumpster fire.
You had Christian Espinoza. You had Chicho Arango. You had Joseph Martinez. You had Hernan Lopez. You had Matias Pellegrino. Like, that on paper should be a really good attack.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it's fair, it was, but you spent all this money at moments it was, but you spent all this money into the attack that you completely neglected your defense, and you end up being one of the worst defensive teams in MLS, and you end up missing the playoffs. And then literally a year later, you scrap the entire things to the stud.
I mean, that's, you feel bad about your own team, and then you look around the league sometimes. Boy, oh boy, am I glad I'm not a San Jose fan.
At least you're not San Jose. At least you're not Sporting KC. At least you're not St. Louis, who I also think have done absolutely nothing to improve themselves this offseason.
They need to be studied. They had such a great start, and it did not take them long to become miserable.
It is absolutely blown up in their faces for St. Louis.
It's crazy.
Who's impressed you the most this offseason, Josh?
Like, signing-wise?
Yeah, it seems making moves.
I mean, Miami, but it's not fair. So it's like, does that count?
No, we won't count Miami.
Maybe Portland, because I think the Cole Bassett signing is really good for them.
That's a massive signing for him.
Yeah, I'll probably go with that.
I'm gonna go with Houston.
What about Houston?
I think Houston's cooking.
Yeah,
They've revamped their squad. You got Jack McGlynn running the show. I'm still a little skeptical on Hector Herrera coming back. I don't know if I necessarily like that move or really think that hit.
That's an abusive relationship, man.
I don't know if that's gonna, ultimately pan out to anything, but they're making some sneaky, quiet moves. That the Houston Dynamo is. So obviously you have Herrera coming back, Mateusz Bogusz coming in. You pair up Bogusz with Jack McGlynn. That could be a really good midfield combo.
LAFC loves to get rid of their best players, don't they?
Yes, because they refuse to pay him.
Which is crazy.
Because they want their DP spots. They're strategic about it. They want their DP spots to go to the Suns, to the Buangas, to the superstars, right?
No, I get that, but like if a guy's putting up numbers for you, you don't have to pay him $10 million, but keep him around. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But also, I mean, I think in the case of Mateusz Bogusz, like, strike while the iron's hot. What was the reality of, I mean, did people know or did people think that Bogusz was going to stay playing at this level as long as he has? And
yeah, that's true.
Now he's back in MLS and he's looking to do the same.
I know LAFC fans are like big mad right now because apparently they're not replacing their DPs right now, right? They're not refreshing. I can almost guarantee post World Cup they swing. Like they're waiting for the World Cup to happen.
I think they're waiting for Griezmann, man.
Or that. But you know what I mean? Like they have
for sure.
They have a long-term vision and yeah.
For sure.
Get jealous, but not really. These superstars that come in for 6 months, I think I would get bored.
I think it would be ridiculous for you to let go of Bouanga.
That one they can't. That's he is their guy.
The rumors are floating around. First of all, you had the rumors a couple weeks ago that Bouanga was potentially being courted by Inter Miami, and Miami was trying to take Denny, which I thought was absolutely insane.
I would have lost my damn mind, bud.
But now there's rumors saying that Fluminense from Brazil, from the Brazilian league, are potentially interested in Bouanga, and they want to put up a big offer to lure Denny away from MLS. I think it would be a massive mistake for LAFC to let go of Denny Bouanga.
Yeah, I mean, what's the number? What's the number that you would be like, all right, you have to? 20?
Yeah, 21, 22.
Yeah.
Which Fluminense, I think, was an 18 million offer.
I think I'd hold out, man. Like, but then you never know. Like, right, he could have a horrible year, and you could get out of Dodge. It's a gamble, no matter what.
It's a massive gamble, but I mean, he's been one of the league's best players for the last 3 years. He's been in the MVP race for the last 3 years. Like,
he makes LAFC tick.
That's just someone you cannot move on from until he shows that he is not Denny Bouanga anymore, you know?
Right. Or someone better comes in.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know, man.
So far, Houston has impressed me. I've been disappointed by Colorado. I've been so disappointed by Colorado. They've done absolutely nothing.
I like being disappointed by Colorado, though.
Exactly. It's probably a good thing. I think that there's a lot of Western Conference teams who have kind of stayed stagnant. Austin FC have made some good moves. Who else? FC Dallas. What are they doing?
I don't know, but they beat us.
They've done nothing. So I think basically I'm bringing all this up and I'm talking about other teams in Major League Soccer because I think that there is a window there for Real Salt Lake to take advantage of. Ultimately, I think that there are a lot of teams in the Western Conference who haven't done much yet this season. Obviously, there's still a lot of window left to be had, Josh, and I think a lot of teams are looking at the World Cup window to potentially make their big moves and their big splashes. But I think that's perfect for Real Salt Lake to come in and take advantage of that.
Absolutely, right? Like these guys aren't going to be retooled, and we are.
Exactly. I think that there's some teams in the Western Conference, like a San Diego, who was the Western Conference leader last season, who have done virtually nothing this offseason. Are they going to be? Is it sustainable? Is what they did last season sustainable? I think you'll find out quick. If it's not, boom, that's a team that's above Real Salt Lake that's going to be moving down.
I mean, they got rid of De La Torre too, so like
they got rid of De La Torre, and obviously they want to move on from Lozano. Still hasn't panned out a move yet, but he's on the books.
Crazy,
and they're trying so hard to move on from him. There's teams like, I have a big question about Vancouver right now. Is Vancouver in what they did sustainable?
Are they even going to have a team?
Are they even going to have a stadium? So I bring this up because I think that there is opportunity there for Real Salt Lake to take advantage of some Western Conference teams who there are still a lot of questions about, and there's an opportunity there for Pablo Mastroeni and the guys to take advantage of.
I agree.
Josh, anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to throw out there before we wrap this one up, man?
No, sir. Hopefully some news drops tomorrow right after you listen to this show.
Absolutely. And if not, we'll be back on Wednesday next week, regardless. Anyway, so don't forget to go follow. Don't forget to go like. Don't forget to go subscribe. Don't forget to go do what you have to do to follow the RSL Show for the best RSL content. And we'll talk to you guys next week.